Alright, so I'm going to make the buttons or alignment pins or whatever you want to call them for the compression tubes on the wings. They're made out of 3/4 inch 6061 bar stock. Each one is, I need to check the plans again, about 3/8 of an inch thick. It's got a hole drilled through it and it's threaded 1/4 28. And there's a little chamfer around the edge and the compression tube will fit over that. So this button gets screwed onto a spar and it's just an alignment pin for the compression tube. And the way I plan on making them is face this, and then I'll drill as far in as I can go. I'll center drill it first, then I'll drill it with the appropriate size drill bit for 1/4 inch threads as far as I can go, and then thread in as far as I can go, and then I'll chop one off, leaving a little bit extra so I can face that side later, and then I'll face the newly exposed side, and I'll just repeat that. Chop it off and face the newly exposed side. Later on, what I'll do is I'll face a longer piece of bar stock like this, and I'll have that in the chuck with just enough room to clamp one of the little buttons in place over the top of it. And since this piece will be faced, that button will sit flat, so I'll know it'll be true in the chuck, because it's too narrow to reliably put it in the chuck. Once I've done that, I'll face the other side, the side where I cut it off, just so that's nice and smooth. I may also need to countersink the hole slightly for the screw to be able to go in all the way. This will all make sense once I get started. But that's the plan. And once I eat up my threads, I'll do the same thing again. Drill as far as I can go, and then thread in as far as I can go. And the drill, I imagine, will go in further than the tap. So I'll probably tap this much, and then after I cut a few off, maybe tap some more as far as I can with that drilled hole. And then once I get toward the end of probably the second tapped section, I'll need to re-drill and retap and so on and so forth. And I need 20 of these. There are obviously then 10 compression tubes total in the wings. 3 in each upper wing. Those are a little bit wider wings. The wingspan is a little bit greater. And 2 in each lower wing. And there's one of these buttons on each end of the compression tube mounted to each spar, the front and rear spar, that the compression tube is aligned on. So that's the plan. Here we go. So here's the new chuck mounted in the tailstock. And I'm just going to show my first use of it here. We've got a center drill I'm going to use. Seems like it's not very deep in there, but I guess that's fine. And there you go. You can't really tighten it too much. I mean, once I feel pressure there, it moves maybe 1/8 of an inch or 3/16, not very far. And it's very, very easy to loosen then after it's tight. Super easy to loosen. So that's it. This thing is big, beefy, and beautiful. I really like it. We'll see how it performs in day-to-day use, but it seems like it's going to be really, really nice. 65 bucks. Alright, let's mount our workpiece and get working. I'll center drill it. And then drill it. This is 7/30 seconds, which should be the appropriate size, for a 1/4 inch 28 bit. Let's see. My chuck is at the end of its travel, and the entire tailstock spindle just started to turn. So, obviously what I need to do, if I want to drill deeper, or just get my drill bit back out, is slide the tailstock up further and screw in the quill while I'm turning the handle. There we go. Alright, that's good enough. I don't need to drill to China. It's actually kind of got gunked up in there. I probably should have withdrawn the bit completely a little bit earlier on. Alright. Now, let us tap. So I'll remove the chuck. Actually, never mind. I still need the chuck in there. Remove the drill bit. Add my little spring-loaded tapping helper. Alright, put the tap here. Got a spring-loaded assist here, just so I get a nice straight tap. So I'll just push compress that spring, tighten down the tailstock. Alright, now put some tapping fluid on there and just turn this, oops, that's a problemo. The wrench hits the cross slide for the carriage. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. Get this out of here and let us extend the piece of metal a little bit further out of here. That's should still be plenty stiff for what we need to do. Let's try this again. Alright, let's see if we clear. Good, we clear. Move the tailstock in a little bit. Put more tension on that spring. Keep this thing going straight. I'm using a loom tap, by the way. People seem to think it's the best, so feels like there's some extra resistance there. I don't know if I'm at the bottom yet. I don't see how I could be. But I'm about to hit the cross slide, so I can't go too much further. That's okay. That's good enough. See if the screw, the aircraft screw that I'll be using. I'm going to take that wrench off because that's heavy. I don't want it torquing this thing or twisting it. And lots of gunk in there. All right. Huh, the thread doesn't look very clear at the beginning here. Seems okay. It's a good fit, nice snug fit. All right, I like it. That's very nice. All right, so the next step then is I think I'll go ahead and chamfer this corner and then I'll part it a little bit longer than it needs to be, and then I'll just repeat what I've done so far until I have 20 of these things. Then I'll take a piece of bar stock like this, face it, I'll have it a little bit inside the chuck so that maybe one of the teeth is exposed, and I'll put each of the pieces in the chuck against that faced part so that it's perfectly flat, clamp it down, and then face it to length. Do that for all 20. So this is good. Yeah, that's seems like a really nice thread. Don't think it could be much better. All right, let's chamfer this bad boy. I think I'm gonna swap out my my parting tool and put in my right hand turning tool and use that to do the chamfer. Boy, I wish I had that phase 2 installed, up and running. I don't have to have this lined up perfectly because I'm going to offset it and have it at a funky angle anyway for that 45-degree angle. Let's see. Just want to get this edge right here at about a 45. You know what I think I'll do actually? Nah, this is the best time to put that chamfer on. It'll just be more difficult the longer I wait, and it'll be the easiest to do right now. I think I can do it without hitting anything. And when I do this first one, I'll see how it looks. It's not critical. It'll help the tube go on. It's actually not even necessary. Really, it's just to dress it up. So I'll see how far I turn in the cross slide to get this one to look the way I want, and I'll do every other one the same way. Let's see here. Alright, I just touched it. Let me zero out the gauge here, the scale on the cross slide. It's 10 thousandths, 20 thousandths, 25, 30. I think that's perfect.